No brain injuries?
Nope.
Do you have anything wrong with your eyes?
Nope.
Do you wear glasses?
Here's a sobering story highlighting the dangers of impaired driving. In a recent incident, a Florida woman was arrested for wrong-way, drunk driving. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of driving under the influence. Stick around as we delve into the story.
Sorry?
Where you coming for tonight?
Friend's house.
Your friend's house? You had any drinks?
A couple.
Couple? Alright. You sit tight for me, okay?
There's a lesson for us all to learn, and we request you to stand in support of it by liking this video. Do not forget to share it with peers too. Could one fateful decision change lives forever? One night, this Florida woman's ill-fated choice led to a dangerous bout of wrong-way drunk driving. How did this alarming incident unfold, and what can we learn from it? Let's now dive into the details, exploring the consequences of impaired driving and the crucial importance of responsible choices behind the wheel. The woman, identified as a 30-year-old woman from the city of Orlando, had been out with friends earlier in the evening. Witnesses reported that she appeared visibly intoxicated when she left the establishment. Despite the potential danger, she chose to get behind the wheel, making a decision that would have far-reaching implications. As the night wore on, motorists on the highway were met with a terrifying sight, headlights coming toward them from the wrong direction. Frantic calls began flooding emergency services, alerting them to the imminent danger. Law enforcement officers responded swiftly, attempting to intercept the vehicle before tragedy struck. With adrenaline pumping, officers raced against time, skillfully coordinating efforts to safely bring the wrong-way driver to a stop. The gravity of the situation was palpable, knowing that any delay could result in a catastrophic collision. The potential for loss of life hung heavily in the air. Officers successfully halted the vehicle, preventing a disastrous outcome. Upon apprehension, it became painfully clear that this young lady was not only endangering herself, but also the lives of countless others who had unwittingly found themselves in her path. Subsequent breathalyzer tests confirmed what officers had suspected. She was significantly over the legal blood alcohol limit. Her decision to drive while impaired had not only put lives in jeopardy, but also subjected her to severe legal consequences. Now, to verify the claim further, there were a series of other tests conducted. The police conducted a horizontal gaze nystagmus test. This was with the intention of checking for involuntary eye jerking, which tends to be more noticeable in folks who've had a bit too much to drink. The officer moved an object like a pen and watched how her eyes reacted. So here's what he did.
A little.
All right. This right here. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Follow the tip.
I don't know. I don't want to say yes because I know that
Do you see it? That's a legitimate question. Okay. So what I need you to do is I need you to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? You can see the tip of my finger, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He took a pen and asked her to follow it with her eyes but keep her head still. That's how the official looked for signs of nystagmus before her eyes reached a certain angle. Following the HGN test, the office conducted the walk and turn test, where he asked her to walk in a straight line. But this was not as easy as you think it is.
Ma'am, you gotta listen to my instructions, okay? Put your left foot on the line. Your left foot. There we go. Take your right foot and put it in front of your left, touching heel to toe. Awesome. Keep your hands down. Ma'am, go back to that position. Keep your hands down at your sides. Touching heel to toe. There we go. Keep your hands down at your sides. Do not move until I tell you to move. Go back into that position. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Okay. Do not move until I tell you to move, okay? Do you understand?
This one was like a sobriety tightrope. The officer asked her to take 9 heel-to-toe steps in a straight line, then turn on one foot and walk back the same way. While doing that, he was watching for specific signs. Things like losing balance, not touching heel to toe, or taking the wrong number of steps can be indicators. The drunken suspect assumed this would be a piece of cake, but no. It was evident that she was not able to do what the inspector asked her to do. Not only did she not walk in a straight line, she also did not keep her heel to toe. This was a big signal that led her to fail the test. Now it was turn for her next test. She was asked by the officers to stand still, tilt her head backward, and count to 30. The purpose of this test was to identify how intoxicated she was and also to check the fact if she could stand and stop at 30 seconds. But as soon as the officer gave his instructions, she was soon to fail. As soon as she closed her eyes and started counting to 30, her head started to spiral and one could clearly tell that she was drunk. Not only that, she even did not stop at 30.
Relax. Did you get to 30?
Oh, more.
You got
Yeah,
to...
I
Well,
would
did
say-
you understand the exercise?
Yeah.
What did I tell you to do?
Count to 30.
Estimate 30 seconds, right? And then when you got to 30 seconds, what did I tell you to do?
Honestly, I wouldn't know. I just counted 30.
I gave you an instruction, correct? Didn't I ask you to open your eyes, tell me to stop? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Two things were clear. She was not able to process the information that the officer was giving, and she was not in the physical state to follow the instructions, even if she were to understand. Next up, she was asked to do the one-leg stand test. This one was all about balance. The officers asked her to stand on one foot for about 30 seconds. No gymnastics required. Again, they kept a close eye out for any signs of swaying, hopping, or using your arms for balance. These could be indicators of impairment. These tests, though not foolproof, could reveal the level of intoxication. They're usually used along with other signs of impairment, like the smell of alcohol or unusual behavior. The officer had a reasonable suspicion in this case. Though they received a lot of resistance from the lady, they were quick to identify that she was heavily intoxicated. The police officers handled the situation very tactically. They knew for sure that she was drunk. In addition to that, they explained to her why she was caught in the first place. She did not seem like someone who even knew why she was stopped. The risk that she had taken driving on the wrong side of the road, especially on that highway with busy people on the road, not only puts her own life at risk, but also the others. It is the moral and legal responsibility of a person who has consumed alcohol to not get behind the wheel to drive back home. This was not only a tough situation for the girl, but also for the officers, since she did not understand anything that the inspectors were trying to explain. Now here comes the difficult part. When they tried to explain to the lady respectfully, she started to retaliate. She resisted and fought back. But there is one thing that could have made things easier: cooperation. Anyway, after the exercises were done, the interrogation began. The officer asked her questions like what time she drank her last drink and what meal she had. Nevertheless, her answers were filled with lies. She tried to dodge most of the questions, while also showing reluctance to answer more questions. She somehow knew the consequences of what she had done. She could easily get a license suspension and probably an unwanted entry into the alcohol education program. The lady was anything but cooperative. But the officers were respectful and read the warnings. She definitely could not afford a lawyer. She said that to the officers. In the aftermath of the incident, the lady was taken into custody. She was charged with driving the wrong way and also faced another litany of charges, including driving under the influence and reckless endangerment. If and when convicted, she could be looking at substantial fines, license suspension, mandatory alcohol education programs, and potentially even jail time. This is really nerve-wracking. What happens after intoxication might seem very bold, but even a single careless move from the consumer of the alcohol might cost them a ton. Not only in terms of money, but also in terms of mental and physical peace. This harrowing event serves as a poignant reminder of the critical importance of responsible decision-making, especially when it comes to operating a vehicle. It highlights the potential for life-altering consequences that can arise from a single reckless act. As the community processes the shock of this incident, it is hoped that this lady's story from Orlando will serve as a cautionary tale, prompting individuals to think twice before getting behind the wheel after consuming alcohol. The collective responsibility to keep our roads safe lies in each and every one of us, and it is imperative that we make choices that prioritize the well-being of ourselves and our fellow citizens. The actions of one individual can have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only their own life but the lives of countless others. It's imperative that we, as a community, continue to prioritize responsible choices on the road. Let this event be a catalyst for change, motivating us all to advocate for safer driving practices and support initiatives aimed at preventing such tragedies. Together we can work towards a future where stories like this one become a thing of the past. If this story taught you something or made a cause for you to think about how important social responsibility is, like and share this video. But not just that, do make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't just get more videos from us, but also give you the opportunity to spread awareness with us. Let us know your thoughts about this incident in the comments below.